Hi, I'm Kurek, author of the international best-selling book, How Would Love Respond, and the creator and founder of Action Heroes Incorporated. Something that you're going to find out about very soon, and wow, are you going to be excited about it. And today, what I want to ask you about is, have you ever had a time in your life, or a period of your life in which you had to make a decision for yourself, right? Something was pending, it's now or never, you got to make this decision. And what happens is you wind up going through what I call a ping-pong match or a table tennis match, where you're back and forth with trying to make the decision. Now, what I mean by that is that here you are, you start to think your way through the decision about, well, what's good about this and what's not so good about this? What's the pros, what's the cons, right? And so, well, I think this is good about this decision, I think that's pretty good, and well, that's not so good, and that's going to make me do this, and I'm going to do that. Well, that's pretty good. Or maybe it's two different things that you're deciding about. Should I do this or should I do that? And it's the same scenario where you wind up ping-ponging yourself back and forth. Have you ever had that kind of experience? And the reason I'm doing this video today is because this is one of those common things that people ask me. With all the traveling I do around the world and all the workshops and speaking engagements and private clients that I work with and celebrities and business leaders and all those people, one of the most common things I get asked about is, how do you make a decision? Well, and I get it, because I used to be that guy too. And matter of fact, the more I went through what I call the ping pong method, the harder it got to make the decision, right? Because pretty soon, well, you've come up with so many things on the good side, and you've come up with so many things on the not so good side, that they pretty much cancel each other out. Now, you might as well just take a coin out of your pocket and flip it. All right, we're doing that. Well, you should have started with the coin and not wasted your time on this ping pong match, right? So my point being is that that's actually not the appropriate way to make a great decision, and yet there is a real set of strategies to produce and to create that great decision. The first thing is that you have to become a decision maker. And why do I say that? Well, because most people are actually weak decision makers. They don't make many decisions. They try to avoid making decisions. So as an example, you got, 3 or 4 of your friends over, maybe you're playing some cards or watching a sporting game or something, I don't know. And finally, you go, hey, anybody hungry? Who's hungry? Anybody hungry here? I'm hungry. I'm hungry. You hungry? Hungry. Everybody's hungry. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? Nobody can figure out where they want to eat. That's the response. I don't know. Where do you want to eat? You ever have something like that happen? Then finally, somebody says, pizza. Oh, we're all happy. Why? Somebody made a decision. We didn't have to make it. And you're like, all right, pizza, great, everybody's pizza. And then, of course, you always get that one friend of yours who goes, pizza, I'm trying to lose some weight, I don't know, pizza. Okay, well, where do you want to eat? If you don't want to eat pizza, where do you want to eat? I don't know. Where do you want to eat? They still can't make a decision. So what we have to do is we have to exercise our decision-making muscle and to become stronger decision makers. And I know what you're thinking right now. You might be saying, okay, Kurek, that kind of sounds like I'm setting myself up for pain here, because I'm going to have to keep making decisions, but I still don't know how to make a good one. And that means that, I'm out there doing that, but I'm going to have to suffer the consequences of probably making a lot of bad decisions. I understand that, and no, that's not what I'm suggesting that you do. That's the first step, though, is that we have to start working on being better decision makers. And by the way, there's a lot of smaller things in life that you need to make decisions on, that you should just do it. So like, where are you going to eat tonight, or what movie are you going to see, or what are you going to watch on TV, whatever it is. And they're going, well, I don't know, let's see what's out there. And Italian food tonight, I don't know, Chinese food, you can't even figure out. Make a decision. Start building that muscle up. You'll get stronger. The next thing is that thinking your way through a decision is inappropriate to making a great decision. You don't have to think your way through it. Matter of fact, it's going to get you farther away from making a great decision and the right decision by doing that, because Well, we can rationalize, and by the way, rationalizing means that you are rationing out lies to yourself. Rationalizing. You're rationalizing, well, this one's kind of the benefit, well, that's not so good, this is pretty good, oh, well, that's gonna, wow, again, we've just balanced out the sheet. Like I said, flipping the coin's better. So instead of trying to think your way through a decision, feel your way through the decision. See, it's a big difference there. We think to create, we feel to decide. Now, how do I know that? How do I know that's the appropriate answer? Well, think about this for yourself. Has there ever been a time in your life when, you went to decide on something, right? Whether it was to go do something or maybe not go do something, you felt a certain way about it, you didn't listen to the feeling, you thought your way past the feeling, and then later on you regretted that you didn't listen to yourself. You go, oh, why didn't I listen to myself there? I knew better. Now think about what you just said. Why didn't I listen to myself? See, that's us feeling. Us feeling is the way we communicate to ourselves. We're not rational creatures. We're human beings. We're feeling creatures. Yeah, we're feeling creatures. And so what you want to do is you want to feel the answer, because the feeling is your being. That's your spirit. That's who you are. And so what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, how do I feel about this? And the best thing to do is, number one, is get yourself in a good emotional place. Don't ever make a decision from a bad emotional place, because you will regret that decision. That's not an appropriate place to make a decision from. Get yourself in a good emotional place, turn on some great music, get yourself relaxed, do some deep breathing, some meditation, whatever it is. Get yourself in a good place. Then ask yourself, what does a yes answer feel like to me? And just be sensory acute. Pay attention to what you're feeling. Just kind of scan your whole body without thinking about it. Just think, feel how you're feeling, right? How does a yes answer feel? And then do the same thing with a no answer. What does a no answer feel like? And start noticing the difference between how you feel between those two answers. And by the way, when you pay attention, you'll notice it. You go, wow, there is a difference there, right? Now think about this for a moment. Whenever you have a hunch or an intuition about something, then again, it's just your subconscious mind communicating with your conscious mind how it feels about something. See, that's your decision-making process. That's why we need to act on those hunches and act on those intuitions, because that's us feeling it. It's picking up the energy. It's the subconscious mind is so fast, it's so powerful that it just dwarfs what the conscious mind can do. And that thinking process of trying to get yourself through a decision, well, that's in the conscious mind. It's the subconscious mind that we want access to, because that is going to steer you in the right direction. Does it make sense? So, ask yourself, how do I feel about it? How do I feel about this decision? And then live with it. Work on that, because when you do that, you will never regret it. If you start finding yourself trying to think your way through it, say, wait a minute, that's not going to help me. Let me just check in with how I feel about it and start trusting your gut. That's probably the best way I can say it to you is trust your gut. Start practicing this, you'll get more and more versed with it, more and more comfortable with it, and then pretty soon it becomes your way of operating. And that's just how I operate in life. Like, go off the way I feel about it. And by the way, if it's a decision about like making money or not, and I decide, something just doesn't feel right about this, like I know the offer sounds good and everything kind of, if I thought my way through it, it sounds pretty good, but I'm still not feeling good about it, I go with my feelings every time. Now, if that deal, somebody makes money with it, somebody else, I just say to myself, that wasn't my deal. Because if I would have gone against my own feeling, I would have paid for that. And I've done it every time in the past, so I will not go up against that feeling. It might have been a decision for them that they went with, not for me. And by the way, you may only be seeing the early stages of that decision. I don't know where it's going to take that person in the long run, right? But I also have what's called the abundant mind. I know that the opportunity of a lifetime comes around about every 2 seconds. So just because that deal wasn't the deal, I'm going to go with one that I feel right about, I feel good about, and that's going to steer me in a whole different direction. I hope this was of real benefit for you. I love hearing what you have to say. I love the comments that people are writing under these videos and under the blogs. Please tell me what you think. Tell me how you feel. Tell me the results that you've gotten from putting these strategies into play. And if you have any topics or any subjects that you want me to cover, please also write those in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Until I do, have a most outstanding day.